Hello, what's going on? Saturday night. There's a grouse over there trying to make a little love. He's beating his wings. So it's Saturday night again. It's in May. Pretty nice out here. And we're out here with the Webley Tempest. I'll move so you can get some better lighting here. This thing is loaded. Where's that? Right there. Webley Tempest. So just talking about the classics. You know, the US, they got the Benjamins, the Crossmans, the Sheridans. Oh, this is low. Near the river here. Beautiful place. I was talking about the classics. You know, Germany's got the Weihrauchs. And England's got the Webleys. Although this is a Turkish Webley. This is not a true English Webley, but it's in the style of UK Classic. Not UK, England, English Classic. It's not a horrible gun. Not horrible. It's a notch up from horrible. Can I zoom in? No, can't zoom in. Got the swinger there. Paced out at 30 feet, whatever that's equivalent to. So, Webley Tempest. Let's flip this back around. Talk about this Tempest. Webley Tempest. Classic English. What's that? Classic English. This is a over barrel action. Mosquitoes again. I'm near the water. And there's that grouse. Over barreled, so it's got a release on it. You push that release, it releases the catch, the barrel catch. When I got this thing, it was not English quality, it was Turkish quality. And this is probably the worst Turkish gun I've got. I've got quite a few other guns, air guns and shotguns that are Turkish, and this is probably the worst one. It's also the first one that I got, and I'm surprised it didn't scare me away, but the price on them usually draws me back. This one, however, was at the time was probably still like an English price. Did I feel ripped off? I didn't feel great, but it's hard to find these things, so I'm not upset about it. So you release it inside. It's got a spring. Very hard. Like I'll try. See how I'm holding it to cock it like that. I think like to do it like that, you could have it somehow over your leg. I think that's one of the techniques. And I got it. You got to make sure you go all the way, and it'll catch. Now with this, the safety does not engage unless it's cocked. We'll put the safety on for this. And then you'd bring it back down. It's got a bit of a pocket there. Mine's all chewed up. It's got a pocket there. Now they could be called also wobblies, hey? Look at that wobble. Webley Tempest. So close that up. Oh, safety. Webley Tempest. Very tricky. I'll cock it this way. So that's one way of doing it. You almost got to be, maybe if you're sitting, you could like crank it over your knee like that. The way that I do it is to come up, keep your thumb kind of down here at the muzzle end of the barrel. It's backwards, it's weird. And break it in half. And you could use your muscles to break it in half there. Be very careful that grouse is getting busy. He wants to get busy over there. He wants to make some babies. Be careful that it doesn't snap shut, because it will snap shut on you if you're not careful. I've had this one snap shut on me twice that I could best remember. Maybe it was more than twice, because the first barrel catch there, I bent it, totally bent it. Had to order in a new one from the UK. Had to order in some other parts for this because I took it apart and screwed it up. So or replace that. Also, that plunger there, I fixed. I trimmed that spring in there too, because that spring is incredibly hard, and it like wears down on your thumb. You know, when if you're getting a callus from shooting an air pistol, like, you're supposed to be relaxing with this thing and not getting new calluses on your hands just because everything's so tight and cheaply made. You know, you're supposed to come out and enjoy this. It's a lot better now, but just last week I had this thing out. I told you I lost it. I did lose it. I lost it for a while. It was in a gun sock, pistol sock, in the back of one of my safes, behind something, dark corner in the very back. And when I was looking for it before, I looked there. I didn't see it because it was so dark. I don't know if that safe has a light in it. But I found it, brought it out. Just last week I had it out at the mosquito shoot. I was out filming and got chewed apart with mosquitoes. Just horrible shoot, so I'm reshooting it today. But I pulled this thing open. I think what happened, I'll stand back a bit here. I think what happened is I pulled it open, and I believe right there, my jacket or my shirt, I was wearing a sweater that day, got pinched in there, and it gave me a false sense of locking the sear, and when I let go, it snapped right there and put a nice ding in my new barrel holder, barrel catch. So a little bit pissed off about that, I was, because this thing has been thing's been a royal piss off since I bought it. So when I bought it, probably had this thing for about 8 years now. Truck is rolling on 10 years now that I've owned it. So I think it's been about 8 years since I've owned this thing. When I first got it, made in Turkey, I could hear his wings fluttering. That's awesome. I love spring. It was so hard to cock this thing. Like, I'm not gonna lie, it's not an easy effort. It's okay. Like, it's nice because what you get out of it, you get a nice shot out of it. But when I first got it, you weren't getting a nice shot out of it, and you weren't getting like, it was so difficult to cock. So I was like, you know, putting air in the breech there so that it would suck in with the piston. Air. I was putting oil in there, silicone oil for the chamber. That didn't help. So when I pulled it apart, it was just oily. That wasn't helping with the smoothness. That like the linkage here, very crude, simplistic linkage. It's got a slider. You got to keep it oiled up, or put some, like, I put some molly on it and stuff. I was doing all that before, and it was still just difficult. Like it felt like it was gonna rip your wrist out of its socket. Uncomfortable. Like, it's like I said, you know, you're supposed to come out and just relax with this thing. It wasn't happening. Wasn't happening. Oh, you crooked. Hard to get a cameraman these days. Good one. So now it's a lot smoother. I took it apart. I did some work to the piston and the seal, the spring, smoothed out as much as I could. Tried to break in everything I could. Like, when I got it, I was trying to break it in, and it just didn't seem like anything was working. It wasn't going anywhere. And the other half of it too was the velocity was low. At that time, I just got I had a shooting crony, one of the ones you got to set up, and I was getting, like, I remember 279 feet per second with a Crossman, like Ultra Magnum or whatever, a hollow point, 14.3 grain. You know, I seemed like I was disappointed, because also at the time, when I bought this thing, I thought it was going to be a lot more powerful, because that's how they were advertised. I thought it was going to be more powerful. Now the 177 version, which wasn't available at the time when I got this thing, I think this was like the last one that I got. And then they just dried up. I can't see my sight, my front sight. But it was supposed to be rated at like 400 feet per second. The 177 is supposed to be rated at 500 or like 495, and it wasn't getting what I thought it was supposed to be getting. And I understand that a 14.3 grain 22 is kind of heavy for a 22, especially for a pistol. But I remember even with the hobbies, 11.9. My memory's slipping. Too much stuff in my brain. My RAM is filling up. My memory. Speaking of RAM, right over. Speaking of RAM, I'm gonna paint those things. Oh, that happened. My shirt got caught in there, and I didn't caulk it. The hobbies were shooting like 300 and like 315 or something, like so bad. So I pulled this apart. Young and dumb and stupid as I was, pulled it apart. Thought I'd be able to get into it. Had a hell of a time getting it back together. Broke a couple things. Like, I think I really fricked up the sear. There's a couple other things I messed up with. And had to order parts. It sat for a long time in a bag in my shop. I just moved on because I was so upset with it. Like, after I did get it back together, I got it back together and the sear wasn't engaging, but the caulking effort didn't seem to improve. I was just so upset. A little while later, I was able to scoop up a Webley Hurricane. Made in England, because they weren't made anywhere else. It was a made in England. It was a 22, and the I don't know, barrel nomenclature was, it was a 5.6 millimeter 22, not a 5.5. Now that thing was a beautiful gun. The only flaw that one had was, oh, chicken again. The front plastic cover, like the receiver, the piston tube cover, said Webley Tempest. The original Hurricane cover was missing, and I couldn't find one I should say, I couldn't find one for a decent price that I wanted to pay to put it back together to say it was. I bought that for Mr. Marvin. Mr. Marvin was awesome. Picked up a few guns from him. He was really nice guy to deal with. But that has, it's got like this big chunky back piece that comes off, and it's got nicer sights, because these sights are not very adjustable. So to get it to line up in there, you're probably not going to see it. Very crude. Now you have to release one of these screws, and then that does your windage, and then you do this one, and that does your elevation. But you have to hold on to it while you're releasing them, because as you do, everything could just fall out of place. So it gets a little hard to get this thing dialed right in. Oh, look at that. I'm like almost there, and it's got a kink. That's like the moments that felt like right in there under my watch. Kind of a bit of like a popping feeling. The Hurricane, beautiful. So easy to shoot. So easy to cock. What I didn't like about it is the size. It was big. And it's kind of like when you get into those break barrel pistols. You know, they're freaking huge and they weigh a few pounds, and you know, you shoot it after a while and you kind of lose the enjoyment. So what I really enjoy about this is, like, come on, look around. Like, this is such a beautiful place. Come out here and just relax and enjoy yourself. Shoot a couple tin cans. Brought to you by Blue Can. That's what I'm talking about. But it's, yeah, so it took me a long time to get this thing back together. Got it back together. And just gave up shooting it, I'll say. The HW45, for the amount of effort you put in to cock it and for what you get out of it, like you get a lot more output out of it. I just love the HW45 more. So I continued to shoot the HW45 more. And back, you know, when I was younger, it was like power was everything. You needed the most amount of power for the least amount of input, and it's all about power. But it's not all about power. It's about enjoying yourself out in these places. So Webley Tempest 2.2 caliber. Been keeping my eyes open to see if I could find a 177 barrel. I love the idea of these guns, any air pistol that you could just change a barrel without having to like change anything behind the barrel. Just for the sake that you can have multiple caliber in one gun. Now with this gun, it wouldn't be simple as just changing it. Like you have to knock pins out in the linkage all down in here. Be a bit of effort, but still nonetheless you can. The Webley Electo, maybe a 5 minute barrel change. The first time I did it, it took me a lot longer, and then I was just looking at it again because I got 1.7 in it. looking at putting the 22 back in, and was looking at it and found a really simple way to do it. It is super simple, so I don't know why I didn't see that before. See if we can get it right in the mouth of that can. I think it did. Anyways, what else do I got to say about this thing? Webley Tempest. There we go. I like how, I just like how compact it is. If it was easier to caulk, this would definitely be one of my favorite guns. It's up there. I'm still thinking about maybe trying to trim like a quarter, maybe an eighth off at a time, maybe just half a coil at a time, and just shorten the spring a bit, just to make it a little bit easier to caulk, because it's so difficult. But where I was trying to go with that is, it's so small and compact. It's great. It's small. Oh, right over it. That's you know, that's all the fun in it is. It's just small. It's compact. So it's only right-handed grip. So that's the right-hand side. Left hand is kind of a bit of a target style, so it would be really uncomfortable to shoot this left-handed. Also, the safety is in the way there. Can't lock it because it's not cocked right now. But when it's in your hands, like it's heavy. It's plastic, plastic grips, plastic front piston cover, or just like body cover. The rest is all, I think it's like pot metal. I've dinged this thing up pretty bad. Like, I think I had it in a press before, or not a press, vise, bench vise. Like, it was just stupid. It was pissing me off is what was happening. I was really getting pissed off with this thing. I've just beat the piss out of this thing. I wouldn't sell it because it's in such bad shape. I wouldn't get what I paid for, or what I put into it. I put a lot of work into it to make it up to this point shootable. Before it was not enjoyable. Shootable, not enjoyable. Now it's enjoyable, and I'm hitting what I'm at. No, I wouldn't get rid of it. But yeah, for a Turkish gun. Nah, not for a Turkish gun. For an English styled air pistol. We're gonna give that a nod for enjoyment.